Alright guys, clarity of the update for XRP holders. The 1000 plus National Sheriffs Association sends warning letter. Alright. Senate Majority Leader John Thune and Minority Leader Charles Schumer received a direct warning letter that could alter the fate of digital assets right before the August recess. If you own XRP, this isn't just political noise. It is a critical moment for the legal status of your assets. So, in this video, we are breaking down a bombshell update shared by crypto analyst here, Diana, known online as Invest with D, involving 3,081 elected sheriffs, and 10,000 public safety professionals. We are going to analyze what they are demanding, how close the Senate is to passing the bill, and why every single market observer needs to be watching these next few days. So let's start with what driven 3,000 plus sheriffs to send an emergency letter to Senate leaders. Alright, on July 31, a formal warning letter here was officially delivered to Senate Majority Leader John Thune and Minority Leader Charles Schumer. Crypto analyst Diana here brought this to light by sharing a video breakdown of the letter sent by the National Sheriffs Association. The document was signed by NSA President Sheriff Troy Wellman and Executive Director Justin Smith, representing 3,081 elected sheriffs along with nearly 10,000 public safety personnel. Attached to this letter was a detailed 13-page memorandum outlining the specific section-by-section concerns regarding the Clarity Act. Now, here's my personal opinion. Seeing a law enforcement coalition of this magnitude step up right before a crucial vote isn't something to ignore. While the industry is desperate for regulatory certainty, the perspective of local law enforcement highlights a friction point between decentralized innovation and physical public safety that lawmakers must navigate very carefully. Now, why is Section 604 and Section 301 creating massive alarm for law enforcement? Right, the core concern from the National Sheriffs Association isn't about blocking crypto entirely. They explicitly state support for a clear regulatory framework. However, they demand major modifications before any Senate vote takes place. The NSA points out that the current text creates broad exemptions from standard registration, know your customer or KYC, anti-money laundering or AML, and international sanctions requirements for certain decentralized finance participants. Specifically, the NSA zeroes in on Section 604, which exempts non-controlling developers and DeFi protocols participants from AML duties. They argue these blanket exemptions cover mixers, tumblers, and cross-chain bridges built specifically to hide digital paper trails. Furthermore, Section 301 grants exemptions to decentralized trading protocols, removing obligations for conduct, record keeping, and disclosures. Now, here's my opinion. This is the classic tension point in digital assets. Developers want protocol autonomy, while law enforcement sees an open door for bad actors. If developers are completely insulated from oversight, regulators fear illicit finance will skyrocket. Finding a balanced compromise here is essential if the bill is going to survive scrutiny on the Senate floor. Now, can the Senate reach the 60-vote cloture threshold before August 8? The timing of this warning letter makes the situation extremely tense. The Senate requires 60 votes to clear the cloture threshold and bring the bill to the floor. Right now, the bill has 51 confirmed yes votes. Congressional reports confirm that between 7 and 10 Democrats are preparing to cross party lines to support the Clarity Act, bringing the prospective total to somewhere between 58 and 61 votes. Now, Senator Cynthia Lummis recently declared that negotiations are finished, calling it a high-quality bill and pushing for an immediate floor vote. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has publicly pressured lawmakers, urging them to vote immediately. With the Senate scheduled to enter recess on August 8, this narrow window is the final opportunity to push the bill through. Now, my opinion is that looking at the numbers as a market observer, reaching 58 to 61 votes puts this legislation on a knife edge. Every single vote counts. If the NSA's 13-page memorandum sways even 2 or 3 undecided senators who are concerned about crime oversight in their home states, it could delay the entire legislative timeline past the August recess. Now, what does the Clarity Act mean for the legal future of XRP holders? XRP holders are tracking every movement of this bill for one major reason, and that's legal status. The Clarity Act establishes a formal statutory distinction between digital commodities and securities. If enacted, it would write XRP's status as a non-security commodity directly into federal law. Additionally, it grants explicit jurisdiction over spot markets for sufficiently decentralized assets to the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, or CFTC. The NSA's letter demands that the Senate resolve law enforcement risk before passing the bill, not after. Whether the Senate pauses to address these concerns or forces a vote on the current text will determine if market participants finally get federal statutory protection this month. Now, my opinion is that the Clarity Act represents the ultimate green light for institutional participation in XRP. Establishing CFTC oversight by law eliminates years of lingering regulatory gray areas. However, institutional capital also dislikes legal instability, so having a bill that law enforcement strongly opposes could lead to future amendments down the line. A clean, universally accepted law is far better for long-term market confidence than a rushed vote. And finally, here is our overall conclusion. We are witnessing a monumental showdown on Capitol Hill. On one side, lawmakers and industry leaders are sprinting toward the August 8 deadline to lock in a legislative framework that defines digital commodities like XRP. On the other side, over 3,000 sheriffs are asking Congress to slow down and address potential loopholes in DeFi, AML, and protocol oversight before hitting the launch button. As the vote approaches the 60-vote threshold, the next few days will reveal whether Congress pushes through the pressure or modifies the bill to satisfy law enforcement. So we need to keep our eyes locked on the Senate floor. Right, and this finally ends our video. Thank you very much for watching and see you on the next one. Or you might just as well check this next recommended video right here.